Hey everyone, this is Simka here from the Fusing Shop, and today I'm actually covered in sawdust because I've been cutting wood for a door that I'm making, which I'll show you guys in a minute. But tonight we're going to work on a flame working technique that's called peacocking. So let's, first of all, I'll show you my woodworking project, and then we could get started on the glass project. And I have a cool upgrade that I got for everyone too. So here's my door that I've been working on today. It's not done yet. Got a couple more pieces to put on and a couple other attachments before I go and hang it. Another cool upgrade that I got is a Dydimium filter for the camera, so this should help get rid of any sodium flares in the video, so hopefully my videos will have much higher quality from now on. It was funny when I actually opened this, I don't know if you could read this, but it says Amazon Basics on it. So I googled it and found out that this ring was like $6, and I was like a little bit upset because I paid like 70 bucks for this filter, and I went on Amazon and saw this ring for like $6. So and then I finally put two and two together and figured it out. The ring might have been $6, but the glass inside it, the Dydimium glass, is actually very expensive. So again, figured it out. I'm very proud of myself and my genius, and let's put it on the camera and get started. Everything's gonna have this really nice blue look to it. Everything's gonna have this beautiful blue look to it now. Let's see if we can get this on. There we go, beautiful. Okay, here we are all set. I already gathered some stuff that we're gonna need. Standard 10mm rod and some colors. Now this technique that we're gonna do is pretty much a layering glass, and you can use as many or as little colors as you want. I have these three picked out. I'm gonna go with a blue, white, blue combo. I like blue, and it makes me happy. You know, you gotta go with what makes you happy. And let me see if anything else is feeling like it's gonna do it for me tonight. I don't know. I'm just gonna start with this and see where it takes me. All right, just clean up some stuff. First thing we're gonna do is clean up the end of this rod. So I'm just gonna take off some glass. For the first time, we are actually not going to be starting with the gather today. We're just gonna start with a blank rod. We are going to clean off the end because this is full of a whole bunch of crud. So that's first things first. Pull that off. Beautiful. Boom, into the bucket. Okay, now I got a rod that I'm happy to work with. Whoa. Okay, got a rod, got a flame. We are good. First thing I'm gonna do is clean up the end of this color rod. This is, what is this? I think this is, I forgot what it's called, but it's like speckly blue, which is pretty cool. It's like got blue and mostly blue with some white speckles in there. It's a tag glass. Okay, now we're just gonna go ahead and just drop some dots on the rod. And you can make whatever kind of pattern you want. I'm not gonna go too crazy here. Just gonna drop some random spots. This one came out a little bit small. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more glass to it. Get on there. Okay, I'm going to add the next row. You start a little bit below the dot you just did. And you can start adding your next series of dots. Mine are not perfect. Again, it's all your preference. You do what makes you happy. Just rotate that rod and keep adding your dots. All right, I'm going to start melting these in, which pretty much just means rotating your rod. We don't want them to get flat, we just want them to get a little bit melted in. We still want those points sticking up. And right about there is good for me. Kind of looks like a medieval mace, in my opinion, with all the spiky dots on there. Now you're just going to add your second set of dots right on top of the first. I'm just going to add a little bit more propane because white likes to boil and likes to wash out. And you don't want to boil your glass because then you get bubbles in there. This white especially likes to do that. So I'm going to take my time and warm it up slowly and gently, and then start to put dots right on top of that set we just made. Just gonna drop another set right on top. And that's why you leave the points a little bit sticking up. It's very easy to get it right on that mark. I like the contrasts of white and blue. I think it looks really nice. It's nice to use contrasting colors. Again, you don't have to, but it's what I like to do. Okay, one more. All right, good. I'm just gonna go ahead and melt that in. And again, as we just did before, we're not going to melt these all the way down. We're just going to melt them down a little bit. Just a little bit. So we have another target to put our next set of dots on. Okay, that's looking good. Let's go back to the smaller flame. Okay, beautiful. Let's get my other blue. And you're going to put that dot right on top of your white. You do not want to go over the dot you just made, so these dots might be a little bit smaller. So take your time. You do not want to completely cover it. It kind of mine looks like an eyeball actually. Just putting a little dot right in the center there and moving on to the next one. Okay, nice. Go ahead and melt those down. And you can stop here, or you can keep going depending on how many layers you want to have. I think I'm going to go with these 3, and that's enough for me. So now I'm just going to go ahead and melt it all down. And cook all those dots into the rod. And you can use your marver to help you along. It's looking real good. These dots are melting in really nicely. If your glass starts to fall off center, just bring it out of the flame, roll it back on center. Take your time. I know I keep saying that in this video, but it's true. Just wait for that last set to melt down, to cook in, and we'll be ready to move on to the next step. I'll go back to the little smaller flame because I just need to melt in that last bunch. And then we'll be good to go here. Just rolling it on that marver. And there we go. Everything is melted in, nice and flat. Now we're going to take a small 5mm rod, and once I clean the end of this off, you always want to clean the end of your rods. Get in the habit of doing that, keep them nice and clean. You won't have to do what I do like this, where you spend time doing it. Okay, now we're just going to heat up in between the intersection of the dots. So right where those dots are, right where the circles are almost kind of touching, we're just going to heat up that little spot. We're going to attach this rod and twist. And we're going to get the peacocked effect. Get some heat into it. Put your rod down, twist the glass, twist that rod. And break it off. Go to the next set. Make sure the tip is clean. You don't want to get glass that you pulled off on that last point on this next one. So just go ahead and heat up the next series of dots. Attach your punty. Twist it up. Break it off. Go to the next set. And you're just going to do this around your piece. If you want more glass to move, put more heat in, heat up more surface area. Again, the patterns and designs you could do with this are endless. There's so many different patterns and designs you can do with just this one technique. It's like anything with glass, there's a million different ways to do it. I'm not saying this is the only way, that's just the way I like to do it. Next series. Whoops. If you do pull up colored glass, then make sure you clean it off, because you don't want that going on to your next spot. Again, you only want to get this piece hot. You don't want to get your punty hot, or else it's going to make a hot seal, and that is not what you want to do right now. You do not want to hot seal this on. Let me see, do we get them all? All right, cool. Now we're going to make a termination on the ends here. I'm going to heat up the end, attach a punty, twist the end. Actually, I want to use a bigger one. This little guy. I have one? Oh, yeah, this will do. Okay, boom. Let's heat up our end. Make sure you keep your glass hot or it will break on you. So just keep notice on your glass temperatures. And you can just pull out the end into a nice clean termination point. And now we're just going to go ahead and round it. Melt it all down. Gather that glass. Go with elbows down position. Okay. You just scan it back on center and I'll show you what it looks like so far. It's going to be hard to see the colors while it's red hot, so we'll give it like a minute to cool down. I don't want to get too cool or this is going to explode. Because glass likes to be kept happy. Now we're focusing. I'm going to go ahead and finish shaping it into a regular marble. To do that, just got to punty up, detach, round off the other side, and we are going to be good to go. We want to make a cold seal punty, which pretty much just means getting one rod hot and the other side cold. This did not attach straight. What happens? Break it off, do it again. Do not attach punties that are not on center. It is going to make your life way harder than it needs to be. Okay, that's better. Let's go in and melt off that other side. We'll melt that clear back in once we do this flame cut. Beautiful. I'm just going to scrape some of this excess glass off. Make it a little bit easier for me to melt this down to the final shape. One day we'll get a foot pedal to switch flames much faster, but for the time being, this will work. Works for me. Get some heat in there, round this out. Can use the marble mold for a little bit of help. Just keep rotating in the flame, it will round out and all that glass will melt together into one beautiful round shape. Okay, you normally don't use 5mm as a punty, and now it's kind of flopping on me. But again, you got to work with what you have. Life is not perfect. And you know what? You don't always need the perfect scenario to get things done. You just gotta use what you have around and do what works. And that is what we're doing here. Go in for that shaping to round this off. I'm going to punty up to the other side and round off the other one. First, polish out any tool marks that the marble mold has made. I will use a 10mm punty on the other side if I have a convenient one around, which eventually one day I will clean up this space and make it a little bit more functional. But that is not going to be right now. And you know what? That's okay. There we go. See? Took an extra couple seconds to make a punty. Crack off the other one. And just shape the other half of this, then it will be done. That looks pretty good. Okay. Last step, crack off that cold seal and fire polish out the little lip that's left behind. You do not want to put your graphite in the fire, so careful not to let that happen. And be careful not to drop your marble when you're moving it from one hand to the other. as that can happen. Then you will have a ball of fire rolling across your work table. Beautiful. I really like the way the inside of this looks, and tomorrow I will take a video so we can see how that came out. I just want to say thanks so much for checking out the video. I really appreciate you giving me your time, and please like, subscribe. I do plan on making a whole bunch more marble videos and other flame working videos, so make sure you hit the bell icon, and I'll see you next time.